big win for Canada yesterday. Federal court judge determined that the invocation of the Emergencies Act on the trucker convoy in Ottawa 2 years ago has been determined unconstitutional. Yay! Yeah, and it was very well written out, over 126 pages of documentation of why, and that it was just unlawful to, when there were other means to deal with the situation. So this is really good news. This is good news for our country. This is good news for the provinces. Now, I was going to do a video about this down the road, but today it seems appropriate. Especially ever since the convoy and the awareness that we all should have about our Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms. So I looked at that, and I always look at the first line of the Charter, which states that Canada is recognized as ruled by the supremacy of God and the rule of law. So I love first that supremacy of God. Canada has always been a Christian nation, founded on Christian values and believing in the supremacy of God. But the rule of law, this is something we need to talk about. And it's something that lawyers need to start taking seriously now here in the province of New Brunswick. And I won't get into details of who and for what reasons and charter violations, but myself included, there are people who have tried to find lawyers in this province of New Brunswick that would go to bat for our charter rights when they've been broken. And myself, and there's other people who have had our charter rights broken. And I actually reached out to my lawyer, who was more, for wills and deeds and, things like that. But I reached out to her and, okay, who would I get in touch with? What lawyers would I get in touch with regarding breach of charter violations or breach of my charter rights? So she came back with a few firms that deal with these things. I reached out to all three because I thought, one of them is going to come forward, or I did hear back from one. Basically, we're too busy was the response. And I never heard anything back from the other two. So, and that's just I know a few years ago when certain things came up, a friend was calling basically every lawyer in the province, and nobody wanted to touch it. Now, I'm sure, I want to believe that there are lawyers in this province who will stand up and will go to bat for our Charter of Rights and Freedoms. Just been challenging to find one. And I would like to appeal to the lawyers in the province of New Brunswick, especially, we're talking constitutional lawyers. I'd like to appeal to them to grow a backbone and stand up and do the right thing. Because yesterday's ruling, believe it or not, is just the beginning. Things are going to be made right in this country and in each individual province. But each individual province has to stand and has to fight these things. I've long felt, especially since my friend a few years ago was fighting very hard trying to find a lawyer, I felt at the time and still feel that there is some kind of fear among lawyers in New Brunswick that they don't dare stand, that they don't dare take the right stand and stand up for our Charter of Rights and Freedoms. And possibly, I don't know, their political leanings may be not in line with some of ours. Whatever the case is, the fact remains that you're all going to be backed into a corner to make a choice at some point. Now, if you choose to dig in your heels and say, we're not touching this with a 10-foot pole, or if you do grow a spine and decide, this is right, we got to take this stand, individual citizens in this country, in this province, do have rights. And I may be going against the grain, but if you have a moral compass at all, then you've got to stand and do the right thing and take these things on. It's how we fight back. Because there seems to be, I don't know, octopus is the word that comes to my mind, that with tentacles that have gotten into our legal system to where lawyers, constitutional lawyers especially, are not prepared to stand up, are not prepared to even, like when you submit an email, and it's just basically, I believe my charter rights have been breached. Can you help? And they don't even want to respond, or the only response you get is, we're too busy. You're going to have to draw a line. A line is being drawn in the sand, actually. And at some point, you're going to have to make the right call and do the right thing and step forward, because there are a lot of people in this province who have had their charter rights breached and need help and need to know. And we have the right to legal representation. Win, lose, we have the right to legal representation. And by you choosing not to step forward and stand up and do the right thing and take on cases for us, you're on the wrong side of history. Stand up, step forward, do the right thing, hear us out, and help us out. Because there are genuine cases in this province, and we need our lawyers to grow a backbone and to step forward and stand up to fight with us. We'll fight with you if you fight with us. But it's got to change. No more sitting on the silent fence on the sidelines pretending or hoping it'll go away and I won't have to get involved. If you're sitting on the fence, you're still on the wrong side of history. And no good thing will come out of it for you. God is a just God. He is the great judge of all judges for all the ages. And he is making things right. So it's your turn to step up to the plate and do the right thing. I hope this helps. Leave a comment in the comments section, like, subscribe, and share. And looking forward to hearing from other New Brunswickers that maybe feel the same as I do. Thanks, and have a great day.